You know, I had to start off with a smile. Yes. Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoons, wherever you are. My name is Toria Howard, and it's Motivational Monday. I know y'all thought I probably wasn't going to do this. You thought I wasn't going to do this. Hey, 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 what's going on? But I'm going to keep it moving. I did my 21 days, but I still got to come back and do my Motivational Monday and my Tuesdays and my Wednesdays. Those were my days anyway that I used to go live. So I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to keep it moving so I can stay consistent with what I was doing in the first place. Am I going to go live every single day? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm trying to test the times and I'm be trying to come on earlier, come on late. But it always seems like I come on late because I be having so much to do. Anytime I want to do it during the day, something always, interrupts that. It seems like the only time I really have, like I was on a Zoom, I had to get off the Zoom because I'm like, man, it's getting late and I need to do my live because I get up at 4 in the morning. So hey, I need to come on here and do this right quick. So for those that listen, those that care, and I appreciate. Hey, Carlos, no long time no see, Carlos. You missed my 21 day when I finished it. That's okay. You usually support me, so it's all good. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Toria Howard. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. Now residing in Memphis, Tennessee, where I'm all things real estate, commercial and residential. I am a commercial loan broker and a business funding broker. And I also dabble in the financial literacy space. So here to motivate you on this Monday night. Yes. And I know Motivational Monday is almost over with, but hey, we still got the 24 hours in the day. So we in there. Hey Tamika, what's up, girl? I didn't miss it. I know. I was just messing with you because I usually see you. So talking about why can't you, right? Everybody, in this lifetime has used the word can't. Even if you were a little kid, maybe now that you catch yourself as an adult, you have your your mind and you're on your mindset type of thing, and you got everything together. You might not say can't anymore, but at certain points of your life, you said can't. When you were a little kid, you might have said, "I can't ride the bike. If I can't swim, I can't do this. I can't do that." As little kids, we do that when we don't know what to do. We say, I can't do something, but did we try it yet? No. So why can't you? Most likely because you haven't tried yet. You haven't tried it yet. So, and I'm talking to myself because, well, I know certain things that I cannot do, which is hair. And people are like, oh, you keep practicing. And certain people have certain talents. Doing hair is not one of mine. That's why I get mine done. That's why I have my daughter do it, or I go and get it done by my friend Sheena. That is all I have. Because I only thing I know how to do is fry my hair. I was flat ironing my hair. I did flat iron it straight as can be. I done took all my curls out and everything. So that is not my strong suit, and I know that. But I'm talking about, putting. Why can't you, as far as putting forth your goals, your aspirations, your dreams, the things that you want to do? Because it seems scary. Because you feel like you're not going to succeed. It's all these different factors that we put into our minds that it takes us away from doing what we want to do, which is why you say can't. But let me say this: if you're watching this live, drop a 1 in the comments. If you are new to my live, drop a 2. And if you are, watching the replay, drop a 3. And I really appreciate it. So if you know me, I always start off with a scripture on my Motivational Monday. I usually put a scripture in there all the time, but I'm starting with James 1 and 6. But let him ask in faith with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea driven and tossed by the wind. Can't is a form of doubt, right? Another word for doubt, more elementary school word. Well, doubt is an elementary school word, but still, it's kind of like one of those first things that we say when we cannot do something, which is can't. Uh, you put that self doubt in there first, and then once you have the self doubt, then we go to other people and we ask their opinions, and they put their doubt into it. So now you have double doubt, and now you really can't do it, right? So why can't you? Because you didn't put it in your mind that you cannot do it. So now you can't move forward. When you do that, you put the doubt in your head, you stagnate yourself. Procrastination sets in. And then time keeps passing you by. One thing that you cannot get back is time. Time is a currency. People don't realize that time is such a currency. Time costs more than money. Or I should say, time was worth more than money. I should say that. Because you can make more money, you cannot make more time. If that was the case, we all be going back to the fountain of youth, or we'll be going back in time to do things differently. I know I would. I will go back to when I was 13. No, I should say 14, when I was deciding on high schools, and I should have went to Renaissance, who wanted me to come play basketball. I probably would have been in the WNBA and did different things because I was good. But, I made wrong choices. Not saying that, it turned out all bad for me. Going to Michigan State was fine, but I didn't follow my ultimate dream, which was I was supposed to go to Spelman, and I was supposed to do pre-law. I was going to go to Howard Law and graduate law school, all of that. And I was going to become an entertainment lawyer. And I was going to be the first Black female to own her own sports agency. That was the plan ever since I was 13. I always wanted to be a lawyer since I was 8. I just never knew which one I wanted to be. But I finally found that because I'm a lover of sports. So I wanted to be in entertainment in the sports realm. So I wanted to be able to be around athletes. So that's what I wanted to do. And, what happened? Well, not because I went to the wrong high school, because Southfield was a good high school. Not saying it wasn't. And I had to drive 40 miles every day, Lord Jesus. One way, by the way, 40 minutes. One way, because that traffic was probably an hour. If I didn't leave before 6:15, it was an hour to get to school one way. But, I let a person talk me out and put that self-doubt into me. Well, put that doubt into me, put the fears into me, and it crushed my dreams. And it killed my joy. And that's what happened when can't comes into play. Not only does it stagnate you from completing your task or completing your dreams or reaching for your goals, it kills your spirit. It kills you mentally. And then depression and anxiety, all those things start to creep in because now you're regretting. Now when life has passed and time has passed and you look back and say, hey, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, another form of self-doubt, then all these things creep in. We get bitter, depression can sink in, anxiety. Some people even, take their own lives, unfortunately, because they just regretted their whole life not doing the things they wanted to do because so many things got in their way, themselves included, and other people that was doubting and putting the doubt on them. So that just killed everything. That's what happened with me. My I let somebody else talk me out of a dream that I had since I was 8 years old. And not saying that my life is bad, but I know my life would have been way different if I would have followed what through. Probably probably would have known me as, I probably would have been in history books or something, whatever. But still can be, not saying I can't. But things happen for a reason. But that's what I'm saying. You cannot allow self-doubt on top of other people's doubt, multiply it to a spiritual, physical, mental death. Like it kills you. It kills your whole spirit, your whole vibe. Those of you that are entrepreneurs and everything, you know that because people that that didn't do the things that you're doing, they put that fear on you. saying you can't do it, that person didn't do it, so you're not going to be able to do it. So, you know, we had these, this turmoil going on inside of us, this back and forth that we fight, back and forth with ourselves, trying to figure out what to do next, because everything that we had planned is just, we feel like we got to let it go. Yeah, people do that because a lot of times it's because they don't want to see you succeed, but a lot of times it's because they don't believe in themselves, so they don't believe in their doubt. Their self-doubt has trumped their mentality and their spirit. So anybody that try to bring anything positive to them, they try to kill it. Might not be intentionally, but because they're so bitter and depressed and have all these things that's killed their spirit, that they try to perpetuate that same spirit on other people. That's why you got to guard your heart. Guard your heart, 3 stacks. That's what they said in the song. Guard your heart. Guard your ears, guard your mind, guard your mouth, everything. Watch what you let into your spirit. Watch what you yeah, doubt breeds doubt. Watch what you listen to, who you listen to. Be mindful of who you talk on the phone, spend that time talking on the phone to, when you know they're wasting your time, because all they have to talk about is other people, or something negative, or just some, they're just never satisfied or happy, because everything that they try to do, they feel like they are a failure. But guess what? A lot of times they never tried. And that's where, why can't you? Why can't you? A lot of times you don't even try. Then you say, I can't do it. So how do you know you can't do it if you haven't tried? You miss 100% of every shot you don't make. I mean, you don't take. But guarantee, if you take 100 shots, you could, you know what I'm saying, get 30 to 40% to go in. All you need is one shot. All you need is one that catapults you to the next level. That level you conquer, you catapult you to the next level. It's all about completing the task at hand, one at a time. So when people tend to say that they can't do something, it's because they feel like their dream is too big, but they don't think about what the steps it takes to get there. Everybody want to go from ground zero to floor 205, and it don't work that way. And that's what happens when failure sets in and self-doubt sets in, because you don't make it to level 205 tomorrow when you just started it today. Because we live in this microwave society, everything is supposed to happen fast. It don't work that way. It's levels to this, as they say. It's levels to this. And if you don't understand that part of it, you're going to be disappointed, because you're going to feel like you're never going to progress past where you are. But only reason why you still stagnant is because you got that doubt, that self-doubt that's in you. So, like I said, self-doubt will kill not only your dreams, but your spirit. So, if you don't have the spirit to do it anymore, your dreams are dead. And this is just coming from, experience. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a pastor or none of that. I'm just talking about life experiences and the things that I'm an analytical thinker. You know, I see beyond and past things a lot of people might not see, because me being an English teacher, teaching, reading behind the words and all of that's why I would have been a good lawyer. But, I always, look beyond the surface and look beyond what you see, because of the fact that if you don't, then you gonna always just have these blinders on that, you only can see, you can't see to the left, to the right. You can't look down or you can't look up. And that's where the self-doubt comes in, when you only can see a certain peripheral. You don't see nothing else but what's in front of you, and that's it. And a lot of times what's in front of us is depressing, because we're in a depressive we in situations where we don't want to be. And microwave societies come from Satan himself. Faith requires time and trust. Yeah, you're exactly right. But a lot of people are impatient, like myself. I'm impatient. I'm impulsive. I can admit that. I can hold up the mirror and see my reflection. I know what it is. I'm impulsive. I'm impatient. I react to my emotions, and I make wrong decisions when I when all three of those come into play. I make wrong decisions. Point blank in the period. Anytime that you rush and be hasty, wrong decisions are made. I know that for a fact. I've made plenty of wrong decisions reacting on my emotions or moving too fast. Just like I put so much on my plate at one time that I lost my what I really wanted to do. That was my fault. Saying yes to everything. You can't say yes to everything. You got to complete one thing. Once you master that one thing, then you have to move on to the next. I didn't do that. I do a lot of things, yes, but I didn't get a chance to master one thing before I moved on to the next thing. So now it's like I got everything on me now. So now I got to figure it out. 'Cause I'm not a quitter. I know I'm not going to have to let something go, but I'm going to have to let something be for a minute. I'm going to have to let something rest for a minute and go back to what I was supposed to do in the first place. And that's another thing. A lot of people put the can in front of them when they fail and things don't happen, or I shouldn't say fail, but things don't happen the way you want them to happen because of the decisions that you made. So now you can't do it. There's nothing wrong with starting over. A lot of people have a problem with starting over. I don't have no problem starting over. As you can see, I was trying to complete my 21-day challenge since May of going live every single day. It's July, and I just did it. On Saturday, I completed 21 days straight of going live. Sunday, I did not go live yesterday. I took a day off. But that I'm saying that to say this, a lot of times people don't move forward in from where they are because they don't want to go back to the beginning. One mistake that I made when I was going to Michigan State because I wanted to hurry up and get out of school. I don't know what the thing is. I don't even know why I was in such a hurry to graduate. Like I was tired of school or whatever. Actually, I really wasn't. I don't know. It was just a lot of things going on. I was just very, very, just very unhappy. You know, at the time, I think I just wanted to hurry up and just move on. But I made a mistake because when I came back from Toyota, from sitting in that cubicle all summer, I knew I was not good for corporate America. I knew then corporate America was not going to be for me. Living in a cubicle, sitting in a desk, looking at spreadsheets all day, marrying my coworker because I can't leave work. That's what those people were doing. That is not a life to live. I was like, yeah, I don't want to live this life. But I continued on because I'm like, oh, if I change my major, then I'm gonna have to start over again and all of that. I shouldn't have cared. I should have started back at the beginning and went back to pre-law because I could have did law at Michigan State too. It just wasn't my dream school. It wasn't the HBCU. It wasn't I couldn't pledge Delta. They were all suspended the whole 4 years. I mean, it was just like, ugh. It was like I'm ready to go from here. So, it was just a lot of factors. But if I would have just waited and just started over, guess what? The next year after I graduated, the Deltas came back on campus. What was I in the rush for? What was I in the rush for? I don't know. To get out of the world of work? I wanted to be a substitute teacher. Now, I learned that I love teaching because I became a substitute because that was fun. I know, right? People say being a substitute teacher was fun. Yes, it was for me because I know how to adapt to situations and I know how to relate to people. So it didn't bother me. Now, yeah, they did, try to, try me, but then they found out they couldn't. It stopped. Just like any bully. They were trying to bully me and they found out they couldn't and it stopped. And that was just point blank in the period. Now I was 22 And I was teaching, seniors. So I got asked to the prom like 5, 6 times, but you know, boys will be boys. So I didn't. I just thought it was funny, and I just be like, "How would I look as your teacher coming to prom with you on the arm?" Because I mean, I was only like 4 years older than them, so it was kind of like they didn't see nothing wrong with it. It was very something wrong with that, but you know, I was too hasty, and I made wrong decisions that changed the trajectory of my life. Not saying that teaching was bad, but I would have never became a teacher if I would have just when I came back from Toyota. I made some good money that summer too. Oof, because you can go in by yourself on a Saturday and get a time and a half, and then if you go on there on Sunday, you get double time. I was killing a clock. You hear me? Because I wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't nothing to do. It was nothing to do with Cincinnati or Erlanger, Kentucky. I got up Saturday morning. I worked 4 hours. I got time and a half. Sunday morning, I got up. I went in there and got double time and just worked 4 hours as if I worked 8. I was smart. My apartment mates, they was laying in the bed where I was getting this money. So, but anyway, oh, I learned how to bust a clock. I used to bust the clock at Kmart too. Don't tell them no secret. I can't tell all my secrets. But yeah, I was a good employee, but I used to bust that clock though. I learned the system of the clock. I used to bust every last one clock I used to punch. I used to bust them all. Like, dang, why your paycheck so fat? Oh no, I wasn't telling no secrets. Can't tell people. They gonna tell on you. I kept it tight to the fist. But anyway, I say that to say this: if I would have just waited and went back to what I actually really wanted to do, which was my dream, which I could have done, I would have been able to become a Delta. I would have been able to become a lawyer. I would have been able to go to law school. I still could have went to Howard Law. Spelman was expensive anyway, so it probably was better that I went to an in-state school anyway. Because Spelman at that time, shoot, I probably know it's probably way more than that now, but at that time, still, it was probably like 30,000 a semester because it's private. Out of state, it was still expensive back then in the late '90s and 2000s, early 2000s. Because I graduated from high school in 1999. So yes, I'm telling my age. I'm fine like wine. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, I could have done all of that, but I never let what I didn't do kill my spirit. I just kept it pushing. And a lot of times you just have to pivot. And that's what I did. I pivoted. I tried to take the LSAT. It didn't work out for me that well. I wasn't mentally prepared for the LSAT though. Like the LSAT take 8 hours. And when that lady said, and I didn't properly study. If I would have got a tutor, I would have got it right. But when that lady came in there and said, "Oh, this test could be 8 to 12 hours," I almost fell out that chair because I'm thinking it's about to be like the ACT. Like my brain stamina was good for 4 or 5 hours, not 8. By the time the fifth hour came along, my brain shut down. I couldn't even think no more. So I didn't properly prepare myself. So that was another reason I just was like I gave up on it. Now I could have went back and took it again and all of that. I just was like it was just too hard. You know I can't do it. Here I am, not a lawyer, but I still could have did that. I just let can't get in the way because I can't sit for 8 hours and take a test. You train your brain to do it. If I would have did the proper training, then I would have been able to do it, but I did not. So you cannot say why can't you? Because a lot of times we are scared to pivot. We're scared to start over. We're we scared to keep going and trying it and doing it again. I took the real estate exam twice. The first time I took it, I didn't know anything on that test. But the only thing that gave me a little saving grace, because I didn't fail it by that much, I failed the state by like 4, and then I failed uh, the national by like 7. The only thing that saved me grace was when I was looking at the test, I knew absolutely nothing, nothing. But because I knew how to decipher words and know how to break down questions, because I used to teach test taking techniques when I was a teacher, only thing that gave me saving grace was because of that. I failed, but I didn't fail as bad as I could have if I would have went in there and said, I don't know none of this. I still went in there and tried my hardest. The second time though, knocked it out the park. Why didn't I do that when I was taking the LSAT? I don't know. Because I let Kent creep in and self-doubt, and I gave up. So that's what happens. We give up too soon. We give up too fast. Sometimes we move too quickly to move out of a space, and we miss the opportunity. Just like I said, Michigan State, the Deltas came back the year after I graduated. So it's like, why rush? Take your time. If you fail, go back and start over. Do it again and again and again and again and again until you pass. There's nothing wrong with it. Only person that is something wrong with is because of you and the self-doubt, and you see all these other people that's successful. You want to hurry up and get there. Even when you pass, it might not take off like a match. It might not explode right then and there anyway. So what are you in a rush for? That's what I'm talking to myself. What are you in a rush for? Now I took all the stuff that I took on because of the fact that I was chasing money. I'm just gonna be real. I was chasing money. I saw opportunities and I put it on my plate, but I did not master all that I need to master first. So I know I'm in talking for. I'm a talker. I'm sorry. This is what I do. That's why I could have been a lawyer, because all I do is talk. All I did was talk as a kid in school. I used to get in trouble all the time. So Mark 11:23, for assuredly I say to you, whoever says this mountain be removed and be cast into the sea and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done. He says will be done. He will have whatever he says. Mountains can be moved if you say out your mouth that you want the mountain to be moved, and you believe that the mountain can be moved, and you put actions into the mountain be moved. The mountain can be moved. There is no way for you to be stuck anywhere. You don't have to be stuck. You choose to be stuck because you give up too fast. Hi, Arkenny. You choose to be stuck because you give up too fast. You choose to be stuck because you think it's too hard. You choose to give up because you don't want to start over. You give up on yourself, whatever the case may be. So just understand, self-doubt will not only kill your dreams, but your spirit. Because once you are in a state where you don't complete the task, or you are not where you want to be, it's devastating. But then you let years and years go by and it just kills your spirit, and you become bitter. And then you look back on your life and say, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. And then you think it's too late still. So you just keep on letting it grow. So then depression sets in, anxiety sets in, bitterness steps in. So then when other people come to you like, hey, I want to do something that you thought of a long time ago, you put that doubt onto them because you didn't do it. But you didn't tell them the full story as to why you didn't do it. You say, oh man, it didn't work for me, man. I tried that. How many people have heard that? You go to somebody and they tell you tell them something like, hey man, you be excited, like, man, I want to do this. And then they be like, man, I tried that. It didn't even work. And then, but see, we leave it at that. It did not work. But we don't pry and ask the right questions to figure out why it didn't work. Because if we ask and pry and dig deeper to why it didn't work for that person, then you will change your whole mind, because then you will be able to like, they gave up too quick. They didn't do anything that I plan on doing in my head. So stop letting other people perpetuate their fears on you because it didn't work for them when they did not do the work, when they did not try, when they did not finish, they didn't want to start over. Ask those questions. My stepmother told me, everybody, oh, you want to do what everybody else is wanting to do. Everybody want to be a lawyer. Yeah, she put all that in me. Just kill my dream. When she wasn't even a lawyer. So why did I even listen to her? She wasn't even a lawyer. She didn't even know any lawyers. And I listened to her. Of course, I was a kid, but still, I listened to her. But she wasn't even a lawyer. How did she know that is everybody being a lawyer? She wasn't one. She didn't know any. No lawyers came by our house and hung out that I knew of. She had no friends anyway, so people just was like tolerated her sometimes. But anyway, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But you you got to understand that people, a lot of times people want to talk you out of your dreams because they don't want to see you do better than them. And that's what it was with her. She didn't want me to she didn't want to see me do better than her children. And that's just point blank in a period. She didn't want me to do better than her children. Yeah, but our Kenny, I was 17 years old. That's easier said than done. She had a lot of influence over my dad at the time, so I believed, everything that she said at that time because he was so wrapped up in her. But I let that go at this point. I am where I am. I'm gonna be where I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna make this work to where I'm at. So I might not be in the history books for being a sports agent and being on Sports Center and being a lawyer, owning my own firm and all of that. But I'm gonna be in the book somewhere doing something. I don't know yet what it is, but I believe that I am because I just feel like that was my ultimate goal was to make history into something. So I don't know what it is, but I know I'm gonna do it. Mark my words on 7/11/22. I said it here. You heard it first. Toria Howard is going to make history doing something. Oh, thank you, Carlos. I appreciate that. So, you know, and when I had that dream, it's not that I wanted to make history, but like hindsight, looking back at it, I'd have had my own law firm with a sports agency. How many black women do you know have a sports agency? One black man, LeBron's friend, but you don't know no black women. And I would have did it before him. I had the idea first. See what I'm saying? You let somebody else put that dream killer on you, that dream killer monster on you, and then you get left behind, and somebody else gonna do it. Trust and believe me, the same dream, the same thoughts that you have that was given to you, and you don't act on it. Guess what? It's gonna bounce off of you and go to somebody else because it has to be fulfilled. It's a purpose. It's a destiny that has to be fulfilled on this earth. So you think it's gonna stop with you? No, it's not. How many times have people been watching TV and somebody came up with something and they'll be like, "Man, I thought of that same thing," but you ain't act on it. You ain't do nothing about it. I got ideas in my head. I know if I don't go ahead and act on it, somebody gonna take it. They gonna steal it. They gonna run with it, and it's gonna be successful because it's a destiny that has to be fulfilled. So I say all that to say this: saying I can't and you haven't tried brings more spiritual turmoil, which can change your mental state. It can bring on depression and anxiety and bitterness and, self hate. And then you perpetuate that stuff on your children and on your family and your friends, and you become unbearable, and people don't want to be around you. This is a form of self sabotage. We have to stop self sabotaging ourselves and then blaming it on somebody else, or blaming it on the world and society and the devil and all these different things. The devil gonna come into play, whatever, but you're playing right into his handbook when you don't do nothing, when you don't do what you're supposed to do. So you don't want to look back on your life and regret anything. So from this day forward, if you have anything that you want to do and you haven't started, I don't care if you're 67, I don't care if you're 7, I don't care if you're 77, 87. If it's something that you want to do, you have less time in front of you than you do behind you. Or did I say it wrong? Did I say it back? Yeah, I think. You got more time behind you than you in front of you, whatever. So you need to make sure that you're doing everything that you want to do right now. Live in the moment. Try all the things that you want to try with safety. Be safe. But don't be afraid to do it because life is too short. We have to move past fear because all you're going to do is going to turn into anger, depression, anxiety, regret, self-doubt, self-sabotage, and we're going to perpetuate that on everybody that we know. And people are not going to want to be around you or hang around you because you're just so mad at life because life didn't turn out the way you wanted. You didn't do the work. You wouldn't start over. You wouldn't start. You wouldn't see it to the finish line. You gave up too early. You went too quickly. So all these things that we do to self-sabotage ourselves, and then we go back and regret it. I've done it. That's how I know. I'm talking from experience. Like I said, I'm not a life coach. I am not a pastor, a minister. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a social worker. Well, kind of I was when I was teaching. We wore a lot of hats. So, but I'm not any of that. I'm just talking about what I see from myself. This is a reflection of me, the things that I've done, and I'm bringing it to everybody else because I know what that can't word can do. It can kill your spirit. Not only does it kill your dreams, it kills your spirit. Because when you don't do the things that you want to do, you are unhappy. It brings unhappiness. Yeah, I am who God created me to be. You're right, Carlos. But, you have to make sure that you're putting in there the things that make you happy. And so you won't live with no regrets. Follow those dreams, follow those goals, follow through on them, see them through, finish one thing, then go to the next. Don't be like me and put everything on your plate because there's a difference in multitasking and multi businesses. Those are two different things. Multitasking is something that you can, I can write and talk on the phone and watch TV. Those are just simple tasks. But when you're talking about multiple businesses at one time and they all started from the ground, that's a whole different animal. That's not multitasking. That's multi crazy me. That's the level of craziness that you should not experience. Don't do like me. Master one thing first, then add other stuff. Don't chase the money. Chase the dream, the ultimate dream, the first goal, the first thing that you have in mind, and then add other stuff to it that makes sense. So we got to stop self sabotaging ourselves by saying can't. Why can't you is the question. Ask yourself that question when that doubt and that fear and that can't word come in there. Ask yourself, why can't I? And write it down. I write all my motivational Mondays down in this book, except for the one I did last week because I was on the fly. But every last single one of my motivational Mondays, I think I got like 40 some odd episodes as they are calculated on IG. They're all in this book, like I said, besides probably like one or two. Write it down. Make it plain, right? That's what they say. People do vision boards and don't even act. They people do vision boards and don't even act on the vision of the boards that you make. Stop making vision boards. Stop putting all these intangible items on your board that you're not gonna go and do the work to go get. Don't put a mansion. Don't put a luxury car, Benz or whatever on there. Don't put all this different stuff on this stuff on their things on your vision board when you're not going to go out and do the work to go get it, because it's not going to come from, well, I'm working minimum wage and now I got a Bentley. Where's the work in between? It don't work that way. What is the steps in between? What did you do in between to do all of that to get there? Not saying that you cannot dream big and have those things. Things are great. I love things. Trust and believe me, I spent a lot of money getting things. Got me in debt. Things are awesome. Things make you feel good temporarily. But what is the substance behind that? That's the thing. People see, Jay-Z and Oprah and all these successful people, but they don't look at where they came from and how they got there. They just see, oh, they came from the hood and now they there. No, it wasn't that easy. Jay-Z did go from, being a drug dealer to a billionaire overnight. He went from the 80s doing all of that. He just became a billionaire like a year or two ago. So think about from the 80s. He's born in 67. He was born in 67. It took him to 2020 or 21 to become a billionaire. So if you don't even want to take it back from when he was born, take it back from when he first started in 1996. Well, 1994, but we really didn't know him like that when he was wearing them Hawaiian shirts and all of that. Nobody don't. You ain't a real Jay-Z fan if you don't know that he was with Jaz-O. That's how he got his name. He's wearing the Hawaiian shirts with Jaz-O, following behind him, trying to get in the rap game. What Jay-Z did is what all of us should do. And what my mentor always tell, find out what your competition is doing and do it better. And that's exactly what he did. He followed behind Jaz-O and did all of that stuff. And he took that and ran with it. Ran. And he didn't stop. Can't stop, won't stop like Puffy did. Puffy did the same thing with Andre Harrell. Found out the competition, ran with it. Faith, work, consistency, and relationships. Yep, that's how it works. Get in the door, find out what they're doing, figure it out, and run with it. That's just what he did. Like I said, if you want to go back to when he first came out in 1996, Jay-Z, when he came out in 1996 with Reasonable Doubt, one of my favorite albums. That's 1996 to 2020 or 21. They was announced him as being a billionaire. But he was a thousandaire first. Then he made his millions. Then he made multi-millions. Then he became a billionaire. It didn't go from crack dealer, billionaire. It didn't do that. It didn't work that way. It didn't work that way. And we all wanted to work that way, and it does not work that way. As you can see, it was levels. He went from crack dealer to wearing Hawaiian shirts to own his own company to owning multiple businesses. After he mastered the rap game, that was easy for him. So he was getting double money. He was getting money every time he went platinum. He got 10 million for being the owner, which, well, he had to split probably 3 ways, yeah. But still, he got money from that plus his album sales. He used that money to go and do Rockaware. Used that money to go and do whatever else he did. It just was levels to it. And that's what I didn't do. I didn't wait for the levels. I just went for the whole gusto at one time. So just understand there's levels to it. You don't think he went through hard times and he almost went to jail for life. Nobody don't remember that though. So he had to pivot. He had to change. He had to disassociate himself with people. And that's a lot of times we don't do that as well. Yeah, yeah. He first, yeah. But that was when he was with Jazz O when he did that. But see, that's the thing. It's levels to it. That's the whole point of this. So when you got can't in your brain, just ask the question, why can't you? And write it down. Why can't I? I can't do something. Why can't you? Why can't I do this? I'm gonna write down why can't I do it? And when you write it down, all you're gonna see is fear, 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 procrastination, fear, procrastination, fear, fear, fear. That's all it's gonna say. It don't matter what the words are. That's all it's gonna when you break it down, that's all it's gonna say is fear, procrastination, fear, scared, fear, I don't want to start over, fear, whatever. So I've been talking on here for 46 minutes. I felt this in my spirit today. But I say all that to say this. I appreciate everybody for tuning in with me. Appreciate it for those that stayed on with me. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Toria Howard. I'm a realtor here in Memphis, Tennessee, working on a Mississippi license. And I am here to serve. That's all I can say. You can tap into my link in my bio on Instagram to see all of the services that I provide. You can tap into my link on my Facebook and see the services provide. If you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell or invest in real estate here in Memphis or anywhere across the country, I can help them. So if you look for a real estate agent anywhere, if you know anybody looking for funding for their business or wants some commercial funding, I can help them with that too. So I'm just here to serve. That's my mission. I'm here to serve. Support the real. You right. And I'm tired. I get up at 4 in the morning, y'all. I'm tired. It's 10 o'clock. I should be asleep getting up at 4 in the morning. But guess what? Team, no sleep. I'm going to go and do my stretches. Then I'm going to go to bed. Then I'm going to get up and go work out in the morning. Well, I get up and pray before I go work out. Then I go work out. Then I left my cup, my little steel cup, at the library today because I've been going to the library as my office. So yeah. Now what am I gonna do when I go to the gym tomorrow? I don't know. But I say all that to say this. I appreciate all of you guys for staying on with me. If you liked any of my spills today, I would love for you to share it. Share it with somebody, tag somebody, whatever. Let them watch it. Hopefully, I added some value to your life. That's all I'm here to do. So I will see you guys tomorrow for Real Estate Tuesday. I do real estate on Tuesdays. So see y'all tomorrow. Bye.